Welcome to Taking Care of Lady Business, where we put the business back in lady business. Hosted by Jennifer Justice, founder and CEO of the Justice Department, a management strategy and law firm that works with female and woke male entrepreneurs, executives, talent, brands, and creatives to build and maximize their wealth, focusing in the areas of tech, consumer product, finance, media, entertainment, and fashion. Jennifer interviews entrepreneurial women who have done it all, who will be sharing their secrets on all things business, especially as a woman. These highly successful women will share strategies and insights, including what not to do and what it takes to win. And now, here's your host, Jennifer Justice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Taking Care of Lady Business. I'm Jennifer Justice. Today, we have the fabulous Michelle Reeves on all the way from Australia at 7 a.m. for her. She is the co-founder and CEO of MAVION. If you do not know what MAVION is, you will soon find out. And I guarantee you, right after listening, you'll be on OpenSea and on their website looking all into what MAVION is. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you, JJ. Always so great to chat with you any time of the day or night. I'm always in.
You Aussies are dedicated. You can like wake up early and stuff. That would be like the death of me. Although I'd probably just to get to like live there.
You're a New Yorker. You can do this too.
Yeah, no. True. So let's just jump right in. Like, tell us, what is MAVION?
So MAVION is an NFT focused on reshaping fashion in Web3. Great. What does that even mean? So basically, MAVION launched 5,000 NFTs. And while they might look like JPEGs and pretty pictures, they're actually your own personal retail empire. So with every layer in those pictures, the hair, the makeup, the clothing, the accessories, it's a way for the owner of the NFT to drive royalties and exclusive benefits across fashion, beauty, and lifestyle of their favorite brands and products. So it's a really cool way for consumers to now take an insider seat at the table of the industries that consumers have built, like fashion and beauty. And the way that it works is all those pictures that you see in the JPEGs will be transformed into digital assets. So imagine the lipstick that you see on your MAVION or the dress that it's wearing. Those will be transformed into digital assets for gaming, for avatars, maybe even for in real life retail as well. And with every unit sold, you, the holder, get a royalty. So it's a really simple way to bring the consumer and the brand together.
So how did you start in all of this? I mean, everybody right now is like Web3, like that one quote went around over and over and over again. It's like, nobody knows what the Metaverse is. Nobody knows what Web3 is. You know, that whole one that was going around. It's like, yeah, that was the people who liked that were ones who were not in it yet. Right. But I can't look at my kids and playing Roblox and say that they're not in the Metaverse and, you know, in general and in Web3 in total. Like, so what made you interested in this and how did you decide to do it?
So it started about 4 or 5 years ago. In 2016, my co-founder and I created an e-commerce company called The Accessory Junkie with a really simple mission to uplift independent designers. There's about 40 million talented individuals who are making these beautiful limited edition accessories, things like rings, earrings, necklaces, and they make them in really small, limited quantities. And they're high quality, they're locally sourced materials. Often they are featured on the covers of local magazines, but they can't reach a global audience. So they sell to their local stores in whatever country or hometown they're in Croatia, Japan, Iceland, Brazil, you name it. So we decided to aggregate, to bring all of these independent designers together and put their pieces on a global stage so that they could reach new consumers more easily. And we did deals with Nordstrom, we did direct to consumer through e-com, all very Web2. And in 2020, we realized that these designers, no matter how hard they work, if they only make 50 of an earring, there's only 50 earrings to sell. And then they have to go back and sell more. And this transaction is so one time. They make it, they sell it, and it's back to work they go. And it's really this cycle where those artists have to go get those real, quote unquote, real job. So many of these independent designers are, doing this on the side from their home studios, but their day-to-day job paying the bills is, they're nurses, they're teachers, they're architects, they're any number of things, but they're not living their full passion. So in 2020, we decided we needed to find a way to scale scarcity. What an oxymoron. How do you scale scarcity?
Yeah, right.
And
figure out how to do it for me in no time.
Yes. So we talked about, back then it was just simply known as gaming. Web3 was gaming, and the idea of creating digital fashion assets that you could use for avatars and games. And all of our advisors and our investors loved the concept. The model was really sound, it was exciting, and it really could scale scarcity. But there was one slight problem back in 2020. It would be such a heavy lift. The consumer wasn't there.
Right.
Yes, it was gaming existed, but it was adventure play. There was nothing about fashion and style, and there certainly weren't very many women in the space. So it was just way too early. And we thought, okay, let's put this idea, this roadmap on the table, and maybe in 3 to 5 years, Web3, metaverses, gaming, digital lives and identity, AR filters, maybe that will be a thing in the future. And let's just keep an eye on it. Flash forward a pandemic, our digital identities have totally changed. And we realized last year the time is now. Men, women, children are all really focusing on their digital lives in a different way like never before. And as a result of that, MAVION was born and launched earlier this year.
So what exactly, how does it happen? Act like somebody has no idea what it is. Even though you just explained it, I'm saying, like, if I want to go on and I'm interested in getting a MAVION and being a part of building my mini empire, what do we have to do?
So there's a couple of steps. Right now, when people hear gaming and metaverses, it's really intimidating. And you think to yourself, as a modern day woman, especially, myself included, I'm not gaming. I don't have time to be in the metaverse and figure out what's going on. I'm either busy studying, working, raising kids. And that's a truth, because we know that for women, our time is overused and underpaid. So to answer your question of what does that mean today, it actually doesn't mean gaming and metaverses today, because those are being built out and we're thinking about still the long-term future. But today, we are creating an NFT that doesn't exist in any other NFT roadmap. It's one that works for you, because we know that women don't have time. We don't have time to add one more thing to our to-do list. So we think of MAVION NFTs as this entity that can go to work for you. And all you have to do is buy your MAVION and keep it safe in your wallet. So if you go to OpenSea or you go to the mavion.world website, you can mint a MAVION, you can buy a MAVION. And for a few $100s, it's just there, safe in your wallet. And then we go to work for you. We go and do the deals with your favorite retail stores and brands in fashion and beauty. And we bring all of those layers to life. I mentioned before things like lipstick or clothing. It could be hair, skincare, homewares. Those are the conversations and deals that we're putting in place so that you just keep it safe, and we will activate this business for you. And those royalties come in. And this is where I think we can squeeze the generational wealth disparity in ways that the system has overlooked for so long. We can't change the gender pay gap overnight. God knows we've tried. We can't change history. Women don't have access to capital like our male peers do. With less than 2.8% of funding going to male founders versus women, we know that for women, a few $100s is meaningful, and it has to go to work for them. They're not just playing a game here and betting on something that may or may not work out. So when we think about the MAVION NFTs, we built these so that we could minimize the risk as much as possible and maximize the long-term return. And all you have to do, as I keep saying, is just keep it safe. Hold it. You don't need to know about gaming. You don't need to know about metaverses. Just know that we do. And we're going to put all those assets in your NFT to work in places like Decentraland or Roblox or metaverses that haven't even been created yet. And in the future, those are the other revenue makers for you and your families.
Right. So talk a little bit, let's go back, because so many of these terms are so crazy. Like you said, mint. Minting is literally buying, right?
Yes, minting is when you buy an NFT and it's being purchased for the first time. So you're the first one to own that NFT.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know where they came up with that word other than minting money. Like, I'm not quite sure why, because there's so much of this stuff that it's like the like that. I started the Justice Department, the Taking Care of Lady Businesses podcast to demystify so much of this stuff that it's like, what it is. It's just that no one ever told you that it's exactly,
it is,
and it's so off-putting because back to what you were saying, we don't have one more thing to add to our to-do list, including why is it called minting?
Well, actually, let's talk about that. So minting can help with the visual a little bit. So if you think about blockchain, things are being added to the blockchain. What is blockchain? Think of it like it's a digital ledger, which of course means nothing to any of us. That digital ledger, if you think about it like a Lego brick tower, every time there is an action taken on blockchain, a new Lego brick is created and it's placed on this tower. And then the next action is another Lego brick, and they're just placed one on top of the other. And it keeps building infinitely until the end of time. This Lego tower will just continue to grow and grow and grow. So when you're minting something, you're essentially creating a Lego brick for the first time, and it gets placed on that Lego tower and it will be there forever. And what's so cool about blockchain, unlike every other Web2 e-commerce technology, you can't change blockchain. So once you mint something and create that Lego brick, it is there forever. It can't be copied, it can't be deleted, it can't be edited or changed in any way. So you've really created, a little piece of history with your own little Lego brick, minting something to the blockchain.
Right. So it can't be copied, and it can't, meaning in the blockchain, it can't be. Somebody could take your profile picture and make t-shirts of it.
They can screenshot. You can do things in the real world that might screenshot and copy it. But according
illegally,
to
I might
the
add,
blockchain, yes, that would be illegal. But in terms of looking and verifying on the blockchain, we can see with complete clarity. It's a truth serum. We can see who minted it, who owns it. So if you and I were to claim ownership of a certain NFT, let's say MAVION is having an event and you can only come to this event if you hold a MAVION NFT. Well, let's say you and I both rock up and we show our phones and we've both got this NFT that we claim to own. If I have a screen grab of it, they'll be able to tell pretty quickly because they can check on blockchain. If you are the owner, and it will say yes, they can see it's in your wallet, not mine, and you'll get into the event and I will be left in the cold.
Right, exactly. The whole, So, but let's go back to getting it and building that mini empire and walk through that. So you have this photo and and it's beautiful, the artist. Talk about the artist a little bit that drew all the MAVION.
She's phenomenal. Daeyoung Kim is an artist and fashion designer. She's originally from Korea. She is truly a global citizen. She studied in India as a child. She moved there with her family. Then she went to university in Europe before going to San Francisco to the Art Institute. And now she has worked for incredible brands, including Nike, in both as a color expert, which I think is such a cool niche focus.
I know, right?
And as an illustrator and fashion designer. She was a former designer on Project Runway, and she has hand-drawn over 321 different traits that were then used in this computer generative system to randomly create combinations where no two are the same. So for example, there may be 35 different backgrounds and 28 different clothing and 88 different accessories. She hand drew each one of them. They're put into the system. The system generates actually about 78 million unique combinations are possible, of which we chose 5,000. So no two of these MAVIONs are the same. And those MAVIONs, as you mentioned, they feature, maybe one has rainbow hair, the other has a pink mohawk. Some have bright pink love sunglasses. Others have this black masquerade face mask. They all have a completely different look in their skin tones, skin colors. Some are really fantastical, like rainbow and ombre. Others are more realistic, like olive and honey and different tans. But it's all about creating these unique Mavions so that each holder has something very special and one of a kind. But then together and collectively, the community of Mavions represent all of this commercial opportunity. So let's say you've got your Mavion and we launch this bright pink lipstick that's featured in yours. And we launch it as an actual lipstick in Sephora, as well as an AR filter in Snapchat. And then it's now a filter that you can buy for your avatar in Decentraland. All of those are commercial opportunities that with every unit sold, you, the holder, will get a royalty. But now let's say we do a collaboration like we're doing with one of my favorite designers, Rebecca Minkoff. So on October 12th, we have the Mavion Rebecca Minkoff NFT that will drop. And it will feature a limited edition series of Minkoff bags. And these are bags that you can't buy in her regular collection. They're created exclusively for this NFT. This bag in the future will be transformed into one of those digital assets. So again, used as an AR filter or for a gaming asset and for avatars. And you can mint that NFT from the Minkoff Mavion drop. You can then add that to your Mavion's closet. So your Mavion can start building its own inventory in a closet. And the more of these brand collabs that we drop and that you add to your Mavion, the more products, the more inventory you have to drive royalties and revenue. So when we talk about this being your empire, it truly is like you're your own Nordstrom or Net-a-Porter, and you decide which brands, which collaborations of ours you want to keep adding into your closet, and you will keep getting those royalties as long as you just hold it there and keep it safe.
And so what is that like a time frame that you guys have for this kind of collection over 5 years, 2 years, 15 years? You know, it could, like, how soon could people start generating money, do you think?
Well, it depends on in which platform. I think metaverses are still a ways off. We don't have mass adoption of people living, working, and socializing in the metaverse just yet. The active daily users are really small. So we're focused on more the IRL collaborations today. So talking about what are some initiatives that we will be dropping first in real retail stores, as well as in AR filters. So we will have some coming out within the next 6 to 12 months that will drive royalties for our consumers across fashion and beauty. We're also looking at entertainment and lifestyle. So we are really focused on meeting the consumer where she is today. She is not in the metaverse today. Our kids might be, and in 10 years' time, that will feel very normal for them to be studying, working, meeting, catching up with friends, you know, in their metaverse bar and doing all kinds of activities that we can't even define today. But for right now, our commerce and our socialization still takes place mostly in real life or through social media. So we're focused on rolling out assets in those two realms first that will drive royalties. So retail and AR filters are coming out. So
amazing. Yeah, so get them now before they're too expensive.
That's it. I mean, I'm telling you, 6 to 12 months is going to come up really quickly. And when we announce the traits that are getting royalties first, that's going to be a tough one. In fact, one of the traits, I can't give too much away. I know it's going to be our first one. None of them are for sale on the secondary market yet. And I'm like, oh gosh, people really love this trait. They're not even selling it on the secondaries, but there are still some to mint. So if you mint a Mavion, you may get some of these traits that I know are going to be our first commercial activations.
Ooh, cannot wait. What about the,
I wish I could tell you.
I know, right? What about the jewelry? There's jewelry on there. Like, talk about that. I know that there's something special about the jewelry each Mavion has.
There is, you know, we live in the real world. Yes, we love digital identity, but we still want to look good in our actual lives on the street. So one of the utilities that we just announced this past weekend that has started is you can actually get the physical piece, the physical accessory to wear in real life. So every single Mavion in the artwork features a limited edition earring, ring, necklace, handbag. Some are more rare than others. And we're rolling out this calendar where our holders can claim the physical piece. So our first set of earrings were just announced, and people have been busy claiming, and they're going to get the physical piece to wear. And these are all made by those independent designers that we were working with in Web2. Right. And talk about an incredible way for these designers where they would never have access to these consumers before. And now they have NFT holders. And those earrings now going into your wardrobe so you can wear every day in your real life. That's fantastic. But I also think they're really excited. These designers are thrilled to know that these earrings are going to be digital assets for them to drive royalties from before. So this idea of scaling scarcity means they're making money from this earring, but also from the filters that will keep being sold until the end of time.
Right.
So they don't have to keep going back to their home studios to make more earrings. Those JPEGs can be made very quickly and very easily.
Amazing. I mean, building your mini empire while getting to, do and to wear the lipstick you love and the wallpaper that you've always wanted with matching your Mavion,
That's it.
I love it. But I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about what it's like to be a woman in this very male-dominated space, especially knowing that what you're really trying to do is get more women out of into Web3 from Web2 and really show them and, prove that we don't want to miss this boat like we missed the last one, right? Like there's equal opportunity for us. And I know that you're doing such an amazing job on educating and trying to bring women in. So, I mean, what are the things that you find are working within the space as a woman and different challenges?
So I love that you just used the phrase kind of don't miss the boat. I think women are constantly trained to think like we were late, we did miss it. No, they built a boat that we couldn't swim to. They built a boat and didn't tell us. So if you think about why we have so many men in the space, right now we estimate there's about 500 to 600,000 people who own NFTs, of which less than 10% are women. It's not because women aren't smart enough to figure this out, are not interested in Web3. It's because there's nothing for them here. In the early development and early days of NFTs, it was about gaming. Yeah. And as we said before, most women are not here to game. Their core interests, and we know this. We've spent the past year meeting with over 17,000 women. Their core interests in Web3 reflect their actual interests in the real world: fashion, beauty, wellness, health, travel, and family. Yeah. And so why are they coming to Web3 when there's nothing for them here yet? So we're really one of the first ones to be building something that maps back to a core interest for them and then offers a utility that has a benefit. So until we have the infrastructure meeting their interests and having interests that actually have benefits that improve their real lives, it's going to be a hard battle to get women into the space. Yeah. That is happening now. And we are seeing more investment and more female founders and marginalized communities building things that can help these often forgotten demographics that happen to make up a majority, but that's a whole different story. So we're getting more women in. What we can do, though, is help women stay in the conversation and get the infrastructure necessary to be ready. There are a few things that women can do just so that you're ready when the time comes. Things like education on what is a crypto wallet, what is blockchain, what is this space even about, so that you just stay relevant. And then when it's ready, you'll be able to jump in the most appropriate way for your needs, whether you're a creator, an artist, or an investor. We want to make sure that women are just ready and not left out of the conversation. I will say my experience has been, like all industries and revolutions before us, for women, frustrating. Yeah. The majority of capital is going to our male peers. In fact, during NFT NYC, my co-founder and I were invited to a number of VC meet and greets and networking events. And as you would walk into these, 80% male-filled rooms, we were bombarded by, are you a creator? Are you a founder? Yes. Are you mostly female owned? Yes. Okay, great. Here's my card. Call me. We want to invest in women. Like, great. So you're looking for boxes to check, not businesses to build.
Yeah.
And that was really frustrating because it turns women against each other. It means you've got a few scraps left on the floor for women. And so for the 20 women in the room, out of a room of 100, it's all made clear to us, there's going to be about 2% available to the 20 of us standing around here. And who's going to get it?
Yeah.
And we're all early in this space. And what I think that these VCs haven't bet on is that we're early and we're not afraid to hustle, and we're actually collaborating well together. The women in this space in Web3 that I know are working together in ways that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
The DMs are open and we know who to work with, how to work with, and we are not afraid to help each other and support each other in any way that is necessary. And that, I think, is going to be our superpower to make change happen more quickly in Web3.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that collaboration and that like network, one of the reasons why I started the Justice Department is like, let's put us all together. Let's build the matriarchy, and we can do it like they did, give each other business, only each other business, buy each other's products, walk the talk, you put our money where our mouth is, all of those cliches. But it's true. Women have 80% of the purchasing power. All of those tenets that you listed, from family, travel, lifestyle, beauty, fashion, wellness, like, of course, that's what we focus on. That's what we do. Great. Guess what? They all cost a lot of money. We invest in them. Let's do it. Let's put our money in.
And I will say, like you are at the center of this too. Like the work you do, the dots you connect, you are one of these really important pillars and allies in this space. I see all the connections you're making. You can figure out, and you see a good business plan when you see it. Like, a great business plan when you see it, and you know who the right people are to put in the room, and you do an incredible job of helping women take action and get results in record time.
Well, thank you. I hope so. And I appreciate that. But, it's what's great is that there's so many women that are doing it and want to do it. It's like when I do events in Web3, we keep coming up on the same, women. And so it's very small. And I don't know if everybody, heard that stat. You were like only 500,000 to 600,000 people in the world own an NFT. That's it. So when people think, oh, I'm so late, it's like, we're not even in an early adoption stage. We're like in an innovation stage still. When I look at my daughter's avatar in Roblox, I'm like, Jesus, it looks like Pong from 25 years ago. Like, they're like a little block that moves like this. It's nothing to what people think. And forget it if you want to get crypto in your wallet at a reasonable price. It takes weeks, and when you first start out, it's crazy. It's like dial-up. So it's a great time to like educate yourself, get in, like figure out what's interesting to you and follow those people,
Well, think about that. That's actually a really great point that I think we talk about, how the system is often built against women. It's not hard, but it's not intuitive to understand Web3, but it does take time. And as we have already established, women don't have time. It takes time to learn about it. It takes time to then download the apps and get your wallet, and then transfer your USD into crypto. And once you've done that, you're good to go. But that block of time is a big ask. It's a heavy lift, and it's an important resource that women are holding on to protect their time and use it as best as they can. So while all our male counterparts are able to experiment and dive into Discord, open wallets, make some trades, learn, make some mistakes, learn and reiterate, women don't. We don't have that same luxury. And so it's really important that we create these opportunities, events, and easy, seamless, streamlined educational moments for women to come in so that they can minimize the amount of time. They can maximize their ability to open the wallets and get the things they need. That's the system we talk about being built against us. And we want to make sure that women don't feel like it's this huge undertaking that they have to go through just to come into the space. We've held over 100 events this year, and we will continue to hold as many more as necessary. There are a couple of others that I think are doing a great job as well. My BFF, Hug, Sisterhood Club. They're all now opening ways to have these one-on-one Zooms or small group events so that you can come in, bring your girlfriends, bring your mother-in-law, bring your sister, bring your teenage daughter and her friends, and spend an hour and then get everything you need to get ready.
Right. I had one at my house, as a matter of fact.
Yes, you did. You like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you are such a pioneer to think about, from the grassroots to the big empires, what is necessary. And we need both, you know, to open your home. And you've done this many times where you bring in all these like-minded, curious individuals to help support each other, and one by one educate and help women get the tools they need. That's how we make real progress here.
Yeah. Doing the things that we love to do, you know, having some food, having some drinks, you know, socializing, and buying a MAVION.
That's exactly it. I mean, if we could open up like a manicure bar and a blockchain bar, I would be there.
Seriously.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there's nothing that drives me crazier than getting a manicure. Look, I can't do anything with my fingers at the same time. My God, I hate it.
Right. That's the prime space
Exactly.
to educate women. I mean, I have this theory that I think manicure bars should be our secret women's clubs. Because we're a sitting audience. We're sitting there, we're waiting, we all want to do something.
Yeah.
Let's learn, let's take over the world, let's build businesses, let's support each other. All happening at the manicure shop.
Amazing. Meet you at the manicure shop. Yeah, that's your next hashtag right there. Meet you in the mani. Meet you in the mani chair. Look, obviously there's so much more to unpack about MAVION, Web3, the Metaverse, all the differences, all the different things that are in here. I mean, but so many great nuggets. You're just getting your day started, so we will let you go. But first, as I ask every single one of my guests, I have to ask you the one question that everyone always has an amazing answer to. Sadly, unfortunately, is an amazing answer, is what is the worst advice you've ever received?
I started my job. I was excited. I came from Australia. I landed in New York City. I'm in my dream city. I'm so ready to, like, you know, make my mark at, you know, 23 years of age. And I had this proposal, and I took that into my team and my boss. And it was an idea for this sponsorship. And the reply I got back was, that's not going to work. That's not how we do things. This is how we do it. This is how we've always done it. And this idea of, this is how we've always done it. I could not compute this. And I think that's the worst advice, to keep telling the team, this is how we always do it.
Exactly. That literally is a vision killer. And like nothing like stagnates people or things more than that. Like, it doesn't matter even your age, you know, you can adapt. You can definitely adapt. You can move things forward as long as you're open-minded and curious. Now, I love that. That was like Jay-Z's pet peeve. This is how we always do it. Then we're definitely not doing it that way. That's not happening. Yeah.
You're the opposite always.
Well, and it does really encapsulate everything that is you. So I love it. You're like, really? I can't do, okay, well, I'm definitely going to do it.
Exactly. Back at you too. Just we just like to push, always pushing every boundary we can.
Yeah, it's like, that's a nice story. Anyway, so if people want to find you, MAVION, what do we do?
MAVION World. It's at MAVION World across all of our socials, Twitter and Instagram. And then for me personally, at Michelle J. Reeves. I am honestly so one-dimensional. I talk about empowering women and NFTs. So if those are interests that you have, I am your person.
She's your person. Thank you so much for this time. I know it is precious, obviously, but also, you know, it's early in the morning, and we appreciate the time you took today. So thank you so much. Everyone listening here, thank you for tuning into this episode of Taking Care of Lady Business. I'm Jennifer Justice.